That's not nice. Rude. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'll be drawing some random things in my sketchbook. And, you know, just talking about how I draw and what I'm doing. This is not gonna be awkward at all. No. So right here I'm just I'm using a Trader Joe's bag that I cut up, and I'm I'm taping it down into my sketchbook over some sketches that I don't like, or they're not finished, or, you know, the ink bled through the other page. So I'm just covering those up with this. And so here I'm done. And look at that. It's because I didn't like the face under, and I just put this guy. It was supposed to be JFK, I think, from the JFK movie. I don't even know what it's called. Yeah, and then there's a little bat. I'm just kind of flipping through. Don't know what I'm really doing. And so finally now I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna draw. So I'm gonna draw these two characters. They're just random people, you know, with short hair though. Because in my last video, I said I want to draw people with short hair. Men and women. I mean, most of the guys I draw have short hair, but I want some of the women to have short hair also. Because not everyone has long hair. Long, luxurious, flowing hair that flows in the wind. So hopefully soon, I'll be doing this little vlog thing that I'll go to like a art store, maybe Michael's, probably Michael's, and I'll just take the camera along with me, and we'll see what I'll get. And I'm hoping they have Posca pens there, because if they don't, I'll be mad. Just a little, because I want to get smaller point, like nib Posca pens, because the ones I have right now are the thicker ones, and there's not a wide variety of color, so I'd like to get more. The Posca pen colors I have right now are black, white, blue, light blue, and dark blue, green, yellow, and red and pink. And I would like more purples. Yeah, I have no purples. I have no skin colors. I would just like more variety of the rainbow, you know? Different shades of different colors would be nice. So I've been drawing almost all my life, and the one thing that people say that don't draw much is that, like, oh, I could never be good as you. All I can draw is a stick figure. But, like, bro, you can draw a stick figure too. You can be good as me if you just start somewhere. Like, everyone has to start at, like, a low point, you know? Like, you practice to get better, you know? But then they're like, oh, no, I could never do it. Then I'm like, then don't tell me that I'll never be good as you, because you won't you won't start drawing. Like, if you start drawing, you don't have to say that, you know? I don't know. It irks me, you know, just some of the little pet peeves. Another pet peeve of mine is that, when people don't ask to look through a sketchbook. Like, it happened recently, and I was like, excuse me, you have to ask to look through this. You can't just grab it and be like, oh, you know, like, ask for permission, be respectful, and yeah, it just, come on, guys. Like, some sketchbooks can be personal, and you don't want to just look through and be like, oh, what's this? What does this mean? And it could be personal that the person doesn't want to tell you what it means because it's deep and painful, you know, or meaningful like that. So just ask. Ask before you take it, please. Another thing I've heard is that, like, oh, you can only make good art with good art supplies, but you can make radical art with just like a pen, you know? Like it doesn't have to be like Copic markers. You can have Copic markers and it won't be as good, you know? It's about skill level and like it's barely on the supply. The supply is really nothing. Like as long as you practice a bunch of time, you know, consistently, you'll get better. And doesn't matter what art supply you have because you can just master really anything. Like ballpoint pen art is really cool too. You can still do really cool things with that. Crayons, you can still do some things with that. It's not my preferred medium, but it's doable. Also, always use a reference. I wasn't using a reference here because I'm just doodling in a way. But if you're doing like, if you're trying to study something like anatomy, use a reference. If you're trying to study an animal or like how chairs work, and like architecture, use a reference. Because you're not gonna improve if you don't use a reference because like referencing from life is very handy and helpful. So here are the Posca pens I was talking about earlier. These are the ones I have. The nibs are huge. Like, sheesh, look at that. Look at that nib. But I'm just using it as a little background pop of color. It was crazy because it was so much brighter on camera than it was in real life. And I was like, wow, if only it was that bright when I'm seeing with my own eyeballs. But, you know, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, and if you ever have like an old canvas lying around that you once painted on, you know, you could just paint over. I know this is totally random, but you can paint over that canvas and save it instead of like, oh, trashing it. I almost trashed a few of my paintings because I was like, oh, they're just boring. I can't use them anymore. But you can. You can just gesso over it or just paint over it in what like white, and then you can start over, and it's very helpful. And here I'm just adding yellow accents and highlights to this person, this girl. Because it, you know, it had some cool things. You know, I'd watch Casey Golden. She would be using Posca pens for a lot of her, well, not all of her artworks, but you know, enough of her artworks that I'm like, wow, I wanna be that good. Like the way she illustrates and draws, it's just so good. I'm clapping over on this side of the screen, but like, wow, the way, her line work and just everything's just, it's beautiful, man, beautiful. And here I'm just starting my other drawing of some random dude. I really like this one. You'll see in a little bit. It's just the face. I'm like, wow, I did pretty good on that face. I should draw more faces like this. I've been drawing a ton of like, what, portrait? No, not portrait. Like a frontal view of faces in my sketchbook. And I should try, because the thing is, I do the frontal view and it looks good. And I draw this, like the side, the profile, and I'm like, does that look like the front view? You know, like, does the eyes make sense for both, like, the front view and the portrait? Do you know it's the same character? Do you know it's the same, do you know that I drew it for both of these, you know? So I gotta practice that, you know, I gotta practice a lot of things. One thing that I haven't been practicing a lot is the hands. The wonderful hands that we all know about and struggle with. Maybe not all of us struggle with, but like the mass majority of us avoid them. And they're hard to draw. And just because there's so many carrot joints, I call them carrots. I draw little carrots for like the little joints and then I put in the details, but like there's so many joints and there's so many ligaments and there's so many positions a hand can be, and they're just, feet are so much better. It's just like a flat triangle with some carrots on the end. It's so funny. And feet don't bend and move and twist and turn all over the place. Unlike hands. Hands can be all like crumpled up, clenched, and like, I don't even know the words to explain, but you know what I mean. Also, if you hear some random kids in the background of this voiceover, don't mind them. They're just my little cousins. They're just having a ball downstairs. So recently I've been trying to figure out what style I want for people. I know there's a lot of controversy about you don't have to have a style or you have to have a style or my style changes a bunch and it's I don't know what to say about it. It's okay to have a style. I'm more of a semi-realismist person myself. I draw bats. They kind of have a not a cartoony style, but like a simplistic line work style kind of thing. And my people, I'm trying to change their faces up because in the past, they're okay. I drew a lot of people in my past, and then I stopped, and I drew a lot of bats, and now I'm trying to get back into people so I can draw more of like fandoms and ships and stuff like that, and maybe like grow my following on like Instagram through that way. I'm happy I'm doing a real time ish video because, just drawing with someone else, like on the other side of the world or the screen, is just so much fun. You like just listening to whoever's talking about some random subject. It's very interesting. And I know that a lot of people on the internet now like to hear like talky kind of videos and not just like, oh, a 3-minute video, of like a cat. I don't know. So here I'm just using the Sharpie and putting in all the lines. The Sharpie kind of bled a little bit and, it's kind of a thick marker. So I switched to a ballpoint pen for the little details like the eyes and the nose. Not the nose, the ears. And like the nose. What am I saying? So this is why I like the face. I don't know, it's just so interesting. I think the whole combination of like the eyebrows, eyes, the smile, and just the whole everything. It's a nice face. Yes, sometimes when I was younger, I would wish that that I lived in an anime because people looked hotter in animes, but in real life is pretty nice too. Like there's some handsome people out there. So I'll be starting up classes this coming semester for college, and I'm taking 2 classes, Fundamentals of Design 2, and I think Intro to Graphics, I think. There's a lot of prerequisites for the class that I want to take because I was wanting to take typography, but I have to take Intro to no. I have to take Graphic Design 1 or something, but then to take Graphic Design 1, you have to take Intro to Graphics, so it's like so many prerequisites to everything that I want to take, and some classes aren't even available. Like, I look up the time, like the class number, whatever, and nothing comes up, or if it does come up, there's like not the right times for my schedule, or there's like rare, like 2 times, like Monday, blah, blah, at this time, or another time, it was hard trying to figure out what my schedule is going to be and how to manage it. And I'm coming to college an extra day, which I don't want to do, but it's going to have to happen. Also, I don't have to take math. It's either math or life science. And I'm like, psh, I'm taking life science. I'm not taking math. Math is it's my nightmare. I have dreams of math. So this is my second semester ever, for the first time ever at college, and I'm going to a community college, which I will not name because it's confidential, But it's interesting. I'm also taking psychology, intro to psychology. I don't know, something like that, because you have to take an elective that is not art related, and also my major is graphic design, and I finally declared it recently, and it was the simplest thing, and I had no idea it was going to be so simple because my sister just said, email the advising department, virtual advising, okay, and just say, I want to declare my major as graphic design instead of like general studies because my guidance counselor before in high school, she put me under general studies because she didn't know I guess it seemed like I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I said I want to do graphic design, and she said, "Oh, we'll put you under general studies." It's fine. But, it's better to get an actual degree saying I'm specializing in this rather than having a general everything. Like, I took this and this and this. Just get something like I'm majoring in business, so you'll have a business degree, that kind of thing. And here I'm just doing the last final touches of this random dude that I'm drawing. This cute random dude. I really like the bold colors that I put in the background for both these drawings. And I'll be doing that more in my sketchbook. And I'll have like little borders around the outside of the thing. That's all for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Like and subscribe. Bye!